I just bought this Subaru Forester for an insane price. Now, like everything I buy, it's gonna need to be fixed up, cleaned up, and then a big question mark, because I don't know what I'm gonna actually do with this thing quite yet. Now, before I introduce the car, we need to go back a couple of weeks to this little bit I call I'm going to buy anything that seems like a good deal, but might not be a good deal. Now, this all started from a simple text message from somebody messaging me in my secret ad stating, I will be getting rid of my 2009 Subaru Forester. It runs, has four new tires over the summer, which aren't new, but I'm ready to be done with it and not invest anymore. Title is in my name. I'm asking $1,000. Please let me know if you're interested. Now, with every bargain bin that I like to dig my hands into, I like to see what I'm digging my hands into. So I did ask for the photographs. And boy, oh boy, were they awesome. A Subaru Forester wrapped up in none other than a big red bow. Just look at that. Then after checking the car out, a little bit of negotiation, and $300 later, this happened. All right, guys, I just bought another beater for the arsenal. 2009 Subaru Forester. Every light's on the dash. The engine sounds okay, but it's got a really bad oil leak, exhaust leak, pretty much everything you name it, and it stinks really bad in here of oil. And we have a 20-minute drive home, so let's see if we can make it. Homebound. We're probably a couple miles away, and we're making it. We're making it, boys and girls. So that's how this deal came to be. But what exactly did I get for $300? What do I need to fix? What do I need to clean? And is this thing even worth keeping around? Let's see what we got. Now, when I bought this thing, I was dealing with the lady's boyfriend, Jack, and the dude was like the most down-to-earth dude you could possibly imagine. So he was super, super cool to deal with. And they actually gave me, right here, 2009 Subaru Forester. And in this folder is just a couple of things that they've done to the car, as well as the estimates. And I just want to show you what the shop was quoting them and showing them. They actually gave me a digital inspection too that showed some of the stuff going on with it as well. But here is the main reason they decided to ditch this thing. They had the front brakes replaced, they had the rear brakes replaced, they had a brake fluid flush at the same time. And right here, they had a whole bunch of other services recommended: control arms, alignment, air filter, struts, CV axle, which was probably actually that clunking noise that we heard when we were turning. And then it had all these parts that were declined. But just the front and rear brakes alone cost over $1,600 just to replace. Now, this is another quote that they had: the control arms, the front CV axle, the struts, the alignment, water pump and timing belt, and an air filter, totaling just over $4,600. Now you can kind of see why they wanted to get rid of this thing, and that also doesn't include the oil leaks or that exhaust leak that's currently going on with it as well, and nothing that goes on with the check engine light and the other lights that are on the dash. So why don't we dig into this thing? Let's see what we actually need to fix on this thing, or what we actually have to do to it, and maybe get a running value, a running total of how much it's gonna cost. And screw it, I'll even get the whiteboard out. Subi repairs. Number one. All right, so what's the overall body condition of this thing? As you can see, the headlights, they are pretty well darkened up and hued yellow, which we might be able to get those cleaned up. Both sides are really bad. This thing does actually have fog lights, which is kind of cool. A rusty mesh grille, which is kind of unique. The front end so far looks pretty good. Not a lot of dings or dents in it. You can see there's a couple little dings in the hood. You really got to look for them. The tires are definitely flat here. Now, these are the bottom of the barrel tires you can get. These are the Avanta ER 800s. So I don't know how they're going to hold up. The struts are a little rusty, and they do make some noise, but we'll have to just double check all that. We got some like rust coming down from the door handles here. We got a little bit of rust here on this corner, but the rockers and all this stuff underneath look pretty good. I noticed a small dent on the right rear quarter here, and just a little bit of rust and a scratch kind of going down the side of it here as well. But overall, the body condition is just pretty straightforward. All right, so let's add headlight cleaning and possibly headlights. Who knows? Now, as far as the interior goes, everything looks pretty good in here. And it's got this really, really big moonroof. Look at this thing. It's huge. But all the seats in the backs are nice. Not a lot of rich or anything. It's got this weird, like, cup holder set up here, and you can, I don't know, do your business stuff right here. Now, it does have all these seat covers and the steering wheel covers, so what does this look like? Is it going to be all ruined underneath it? No, actually, the steering wheel looks pretty good. Maybe it was just for purely looks. I suppose, oh yeah, the seat's a little bit damaged right here. a little bit of wear, not a big issue. And oh, some damage right here. It's got this weird sock thing. I don't even know what that even is. Same thing right here. Well, you can see it's got a little bit of wear and tear right there, and a little bit of wear on the passenger seat as well, but not terrible. You got this guy staring right at me, and this lady staring right at me, and this guy. See if there's any goodies in here. Little cigarette charger thing. A bunch of lip balm. More lip balm down here. Hey, a little bit of change. Made some money. Oh, what's in here? Oh, wow. The jackpot of manuals. Subaru. Oh, what? This thing's actually got navigation. Nice. All right, so I'll have to dig through some of that later. It's got this Yankee candle scent in here, but it's masking one of the nastiest smells I think I've ever smelled before. What is this? Coconut Dreams. Shea butter for the boys. All right, now one of my favorite things to do with cars is to check the filters, because that always tells you if people are on top of maintenance. And if they don't do this stuff, I guarantee they care nothing about their car. So let's see what this cabin air filter looks like. That glove box is a pain. Ooh, what the heck is this? Wet naps. I completely thought this was gonna be something else. All right, moment of truth. Cabin air filter. Oh no, it's disgusting. Let me get this out of the way. Well, and right there could be the contributing factor to the stink in there. Just look how disgusting this is. There you have it. Ugh, gross, dude. Look at that, you can't even get through that anymore. Nasty. You know, when you see stuff like this, it makes you wonder what these people's furnace filter looks like. I bet you never changed it. That's absolutely disgusting. So that's gonna be on the list. All right, cabin filter, yuck. All right, and before I get this thing up in the air, this thing had a whole bunch of check engine lights and stuff like that on, so let's just get a quick look at what that's gonna be. All right, let's go to Diagnose, Asian, Subaru. All right, we have a PO420 catalyst system efficiency below threshold, and we have a PO028, the solenoid valve malfunction. That has to do with all of our advanced timing and stuff like that. So that one most likely will end up being a solenoid. It's pretty common on this stuff. But I smell another test coming on with that PO420, because I picked this stuff up a few weeks back because everybody swore that this stuff fixed converters and things. And what better way than to try it on a vehicle that actually has converter issues? Yippee! All right, so check engine light. We have that P0028 and that P0420 issues. I really hope I get to try the cataclean on this thing. All right, let's see exactly what we're working with underneath the hood here. Get my handy dandy light so we can actually see a few things. And fingers crossed it's not terrible, because at this point, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to do the Subaru tune-up to this thing. All right, so overall, the engine bay is just extremely dusty and dirty. You know, you got leaves and stuff probably from sitting. Look at this battery. That terminal's all nasty and corrosion. And interstate, this is like the worst battery you can buy. I hate these things. Now, I'm not sure exactly that P0028, what bank that is, but I'm seeing a ton of oil leaking already from this oil pressure switch right there. And that's kind of in conjunction with this actuating solenoid right there. So this could all be an issue on this side. I think on this, it might be in the back of the head. And then there's one on the back of the head right here. It's kind of hard to see it. But just judging by that right there, that could be an issue with that check engine light right there. The belts look a little gross. Not terrible. They're not like super cracked, but the AC clutch is nice and rusty. We have what appears to be drywall anchors holding this thing in. Oh gosh, just look at that air filter. This thing really hasn't had the care. And just look at this valve cover. It's just black from oil leaking. Even the spark plug wire has got something growing on it. That's not gonna be good. Engine oil is black. Let's check the transmission fluid here. Ooh, that's kind of burnt up a little bit looking. Check the gear oil here. Oh, the gear oil isn't terrible. Let's try to get this cover pulled back, see if we can see the timing belt, see if it's all cracked up or anything. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Look at this thing. Oh God, how did that thing make it this far? That needs to be replaced. All right, so oil pressure switch, belts and timing belts, engine air filter, spark plugs and wires, trans flush. I mean, look at these strut mounts. All the rubber is just deteriorated on them, both sides. That's probably where all that clunking is starting to come from. You know, overall, this engine is really not looking so healthy right now. With each thing that I'm finding, I can feel their pain on why they wanted to get rid of this thing. But let's keep going. Let's get this thing in the air and see what else we're going to need. I guess the one perk is that everything has fluid in it. The coolant's full. The engine oil is actually overfull, but I think it's because it's been leaking. So who knows how much fluid has leaked out? That might be an issue. I gotta make sure I do the infamous mechanic lean on this thing. And upon first glance, we have a damaged CV axle boot, and the axle is shot. The engine oil is leaking. Surprise, surprise. Oil pan gasket leaking, and more leaks. Yippee. Yeah, and I really don't know what happened back here, but I saw all this grease and stuff on this, so I happened to push this one up, and yep, now it's leaking into there. There's something that was in the hatch that's now dripping onto the floor. Now, another thing I wanted to know was the exhaust. The lady said that they had the exhaust fixed on this thing, and just take a look at what they actually did here. This pipe in the back right here, this all looks new as it comes up to here. And then they had this really, really poor weld job into this resonator pipe. And then this collar that goes into the old pipe here. And then, if you come back, both the mufflers are busted off. Right here and right here. It always kind of makes me wonder how these jobs get sold, and that's okay. I guess I'll never understand this. Now, I also noticed this U-joint on this drive shaft. Take a look at this. So that U-joint's shot. I don't even think you can get these or service these. I think you actually have to buy the whole drive shaft, which is probably fine because look at that carrier. That carrier is also shot too. So that drive shaft has to be replaced. They said the whole control arm needs to be replaced, but I know you can just get these bushings. And then this ball joint is shot on this side, driver's side ball joint. But this one isn't looking much better either. So now to the underside part of the list, we have an engine gasket kit. I don't even think I'm gonna mess around. I think just reseal the entire engine in a whole gasket set. Pretty much everything except taking the case apart to get the crankshaft out. But cylinder head gaskets, the oil pan gasket, all the seals, all that stuff needs to be addressed. The valve cover gaskets are leaking. You would do spark plugs and everything then too. So just nuke the thing with the Subaru tune-up kit. We need the passenger, axle, a drive shaft, exhaust, and a possible converter unless the oxygen sensor is getting like feedback from oxygen coming back up from the muffler system. I don't know. There might be some leaks in there too. It looks like a pretty shoddy job on this exhaust. Then moving along to suspension, we have ball joints and bushings. All right, so now that we found all these issues with it, I kind of need to break down the nitty-gritty of this whole deal. Is it even worth fixing? So I went back and forth on just Rock Auto, going up and down and searching and searching and searching to find all these parts of this thing. Now, I didn't find everything on here, but the majority of the main issues was all on Rock Auto. And well, here we go. So everything on the whiteboard is on the list, excluding the drive shaft, the exhaust, the transmission fluid, and the headlight cleaning, and fingers crossed that we don't need converter. And then there's miscellaneous stuff like engine oil cleaners, gloves, things like that I didn't include either. And this is all just from Rock Auto, okay? I haven't sourced anywhere else. I just want to get a preliminary number so I kind of have an idea of where a budget could lie if we are going to fix this thing or if we're going to scrap this thing. We're at $673. Now, actually, I don't think that is a very bad number to keep this thing alive. I haven't sourced out a lot of stuff, and we might be able to cheapen that up a little bit. Maybe I'll get the engine out before I order a bunch of stuff to see what we're looking at, because I think I really want to pull the engine out of this thing and do a really good job sealing it up and cleaning it up. I know you can do the heads in the vehicle, but I just don't think this is an opportune idea to do in the car on this thing. And at this point, this should be a fun car for the channel to keep it going, so I think that's the route I'm gonna take. And I don't know, maybe I just try to fix and flip this thing and try to get something into a car that I actually enjoy. I really want some Japanese, kind of 90s, early 2000 Japanese cars. Those are my favorite cars. So either A, maybe we fix it up and flip it and try to find something like that to really kind of bring home the channel. Or B, I've seen people do some off-road build stuff with these, so maybe we could do something like that, or just fix it up and drive it and do tests on it until we get rid of it or blow it up or whatever. And now that I think of it, with the amount of cars that I keep getting here. I'm gonna have to start naming these things like most people try to do. But here we are. So stay tuned to this Subaru Forester build. We're gonna pull the engine out, we're gonna clean it up, we're gonna do all that stuff, and I'm just gonna try to keep this thing going as long as we can, and maybe we get some cool content and cool ideas out of it. If you guys have an idea or things we should try on this thing, shoot me a comment down below. But until next time, we will see you in the next one pulling this engine out, because that's what's gonna happen next. So peace out, take care, thanks for watching.